Vice President J.D. Vance is saying ending the aid to Ukraine is one of the proudest achievements by the Trump administration. Yeah, just to start a war with multiple countries for no reason, like we went out to Venezuela earlier this year and took their president and flew him out of his country along with his wife. And then we also started a war with Iran that's currently ongoing in the Middle East. I posted 2 videos before this one related to those, especially what the FIFA president has said and the ongoing situation between the United States, Israel, and Iran, and also Lebanon. It was also included in that video. So long story short, this is kind of a situation that we have to watch because, again, Ukraine been dealing with this war since 2022, which President Donald Trump said he will have ended within 24 hours, and we're still dealing with it as of April 15th of 2026. And Russia, kind of, Vladimir Putin probably thinks it's funny because President Trump is not keeping his words or anything that he does at all. And Ukraine really needs to support, especially since they're going against Russia. Now, I think other NATO countries across Europe been helping Ukraine and sending, aid and stuff to Ukraine. But the United States is currently at war with another country. After we just started, we attacked multiple alleged drug boats in the Caribbean. We're currently at war with another country, so I can see why we cut aid off to Ukraine, because we can't keep sending aid to Ukraine if we're trying to win a war with a country that we started it with. Kind of don't want to end up like Russia, who started a war back in 2022, February of 2022, and they're still fighting Ukraine. I don't know if Russia is just prolonging this war, because I'm pretty sure Russia would have been able to been, how NATO been acting the past few years, not really wanting to get too much involved with Ukraine. I'm pretty sure Russia would have been able to won this war with Ukraine. And then if he go after another country in Europe, then that's his business. But that's what he's been talking about doing. So unless he's just testing NATO and see how they're really going to react, but I'm pretty sure he kind of liking seeing the Ukrainians suffer, especially the attacks that he does on Ukraine from time to time, like attacking hospitals and stuff like that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this article by the Kyiv Independent, which is a news channel coming out of the capital of Ukraine, which is Kyiv. You got Kyiv and then Kharkiv. Kharkiv is the second biggest city in Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this article. So again, this article is being reported by the Kyiv Independent, and it says Vance calls end of Ukraine aid one of the proudest achievements of Trump administration. This was posted on April 15, 2026 at 10:06 a.m. And we go down here. It say U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said on April 14th that he is proud Washington cutting off funding to Ukraine aimed Russian aggression, listing it among the Trump administration's top achievements. Speaking at a Turning Point USA event in Athens, Georgia, Vance recalled being confronted by a Ukrainian American over his calls to halt funding for Ukraine. And this person got really agitated at me because I was saying we should stop funding the Ukraine war, Vance said. And I still believe that, obviously, and it's one of the things I'm proudest that we have done in this administration is we have told Europe that you want to buy weapons, you can, but the United States is not buying weapons and sending them to Ukraine anymore. And a stark shift from the previous administration, the U.S. President Donald Trump ended nearly all new aid to Kyiv, leaving Europe to foot the bill for Ukraine's defense. European partners covered the vast majority of military assistance to Ukraine in 2025, including through the purchase of critically important Patriot interceptors and other American-made weapons. Kyiv has reported delays in deliveries and shortages of air defense ammunition aimed heavy Russian winter strikes, with the shortfall expected to deepen as the U.S.-Iran conflict strains supplies. Vance has been among the most vocal critics of aiding Ukraine within the Trump administration. He played a central role in a public spat between Trump and President Vladimir Zelensky in February that led to a brief halt in all U.S. support. The U.S. Vice President also accused Zelensky last week of threatening Hungary outgoing Prime Minister Viktor Orban and suggested that the fate of contested territories in eastern Ukraine amounts to hogging over a few square kilometers. Zelensky hit back by pointing out that Vance is not involved in the peace talks and that the officials who will likely better understand the value of Ukrainian territory. Now, the part where allegedly Zelensky said that Vance is not a part of the peace talks, I don't know if he's talking about between Ukraine and Russia, since there's a situation going on. Is he talking about in the Middle East with the peace talks against the United States, Israel, and Iran and Pakistan that's taking place again in Pakistan? I don't know if he's talking about that because lately Vladimir Zelensky been saying that Russia been helping Iran with intelligence on where our troops and bases is in the United States, because apparently Zelensky's saying Russia been using satellites, taking pictures and sending them to Iran for targets. And Russia did say, since a day or two after the strike that happened on the all-girls school in Iran, that they was going to help Iran with intelligence on where our troops was. So Zelensky been slowly trying to help out the United States, even though we're kind of doing them dirty, especially not sending them weapons and stuff so they can defend themselves against Russia, who started a war with them. Because allegedly back in 2020 there was a mass buildup along the Ukrainian border, where Russia kept saying that they were just exercising, and then we turned around to February 2022 and Ukraine is getting attacked, invaded by the Russians. So I mean, it's kind of a situation we gotta watch, because President Donald Trump been talking about leaving out of NATO. I'm pretty sure other NATO countries kind of wouldn't mind, because we know France said a few weeks ago that President Donald Trump talks too much, and he just don't keep his words or anything he says, especially with this war. He says one thing with this war, and then I guess he forgets what he said. Because again, why are we trying to negotiate with Iran when he clearly said he don't see no reason to negotiate with Iran when we're obliterating the other side? And I'm pretty sure Iran is kind of just playing at this point, since Trump is just changing up of what he says. So Zelensky been still trying to help out, at least, or just warning the United States what the Russians are doing. But I mean, the United States, one U.S. official did say that Zelensky was a liar. Now, I don't know if it's because the situation that we're not even helping the Ukraine right now and just letting Europe take care of them. I think Poland was one of the countries that said they were sending one of the most amount of weapons to Ukraine to help them out. And I'm pretty sure Vladimir Putin is loving this. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified each and every time we upload a new video. Again, with this war going on with Russia and Ukraine, it's not getting too much attention because the whole focus is in the Middle East between the U.S., Israel, and Iran, and Lebanon is also involved in this war. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.